F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
Welcome, everyone, to a wide range of conversations with Rick and Eric.
I should do the thing where I try to make I sound like the other YouTubers that we follow. Today, we are recording in progress. Huh? Anybody else watch Depths of Despair? That's who that is, right?
No, I know that was Sir Spooks.
Damn it.
Isn't that Sir Spooks?
You're right. Shout out Sir Spooks. Depths of Despair is the one that sounds like Goliath from...
Yeah.
I can't sound like him. My voice doesn't get that deep. You could try, though.
I could, but I don't feel like fucking going into a cough fit. I woke up with that dry nose sore throat shit.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Vicks,
And
man.
I'm like, fuck. Oh, I should do that now, but I'll remember it in a minute.
I mean, fuck it, listen, this is your list. If this ends up on the show, this is the part of the show where we tell you Vicks is important if you can't breathe.
But
Sponsor us, Vicks.
yeah, I'm Mexican, you should.
And I'm Polish, you should.
But I've been fighting it all day. I'm not getting sick. It's just because I slept in front of the fan, cranked or some shit. And then it's just progressively been getting worse and more fucking sinus pressure. And I'm like, no, please don't. And we went to fucking Spirit, in which I was slightly disappointed with the Spirit trip.
Yeah. I bought you something from Spirit, though.
What?
I bought you an Art the Clown magnet for your fridge.
Oh, right on. I saw the plushie and shit. I just wish they had the plushie and a couple other things. I just wish they didn't constantly use him with the fucking flower sunglasses.
Yeah, these had sunglasses on too.
It's fine, but I mean, it's like they took that one scene from the movie where probably every girl was like, "Oh, he's cute," with those fucking glasses on.
Yeah.
He's cute and scary, and then used it. But they did have a welcome mat that was just his regular face that I might go back and get.
That's kind of cool. I looked at, they had a I can't think, like a tombstone, but I had Zero's name on it from The Nightmare Before Christmas that lit up.
Oh.
And I'm like, ooh, but it was like $40. I did get a coupon though. So
and I saw some little kid get scared out of one of their fucking that thing that shoots straight up in the fucking air, that witch fucking thing.
Yeah.
That animatronic weird thing.
And
then Silas was trying to talk me to get into getting the Art the Clown thing. He's like, it's like 6 foot tall. I'm like, yeah, where the fuck are we gonna put it? He's like, in the front yard. I'm like, nah.
That ain't going out in the yard. I know what people do around these parts. They ain't going in the yard. That's for damn sure.
Yo, there's a house around the corner from me where they put their skeletons. They have a big ass skeleton and they have a couple smaller skeletons, and the smaller skeletons are like doing it doggy style, posed. And at first, we thought maybe it was a joke, like some kids did it, but they're still like that. And it's been a couple weeks, and whoever did it must have also known what they were doing, because instead of the person just being on regular all fours taking it in the ass, it's bent down and hunched down with the arms straight out, like how proper doggy style kind of shit.
I mean,
I'm like, oh, okay. And then
that's kind of crazy, right? You do you, but I have a skeleton family on my porch too, but they just adopted a dog. Okay, this is a big thing for them.
But and then the child saw it and he goes, why would anybody do that? There's children around here. And on that note, welcome to another episode of Wide Range Conversations with Rick and Eric.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Skeleton fucking is how we start.
Yeah. That's Eric over there. And I am skeleton family Rick, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm the PG skeleton family. I did just buy cute little ghost, like they're on little lawn stakes and they light up. I'm pretty excited to go outside and see how they look at night.
Oh, I think my lighter just died. Son of a bitch.
Oh, here we go. That being said, we're getting huge into it's spooky season now because we just passed Friday the 13th, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
Halloween," and then it's like that emoji of them throwing up like a rainbow, but it was like Halloween colors, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And speaking of Friday the 13th, on Friday the 13th, I went to fucking Horror Slam
oh
and
yeah,
saw a bunch of people die
yeah.
with
I'm
me
glad
and
I did not go to that.
why?
I it's just not my thing. I'm fine watching it on the internet, I guess. So, but if I had been there, I'd have been like, "Why are you doing this to yourself?"
Well, it was me and Fancy Matt and Mark and Mark's friend from pinball, Jeremy, who was a super cool guy who didn't really talk much, but he's a super huge wrestling nerd.
Oh yeah.
Um, so we drove down there. Classy Matt doesn't like the highway because it triggers his fucking PTSD from being in the army with
Oh,
like just everything going on. So we took like the back way, uh, kind of went through a little bit of hood area. Almost asked a dude for an i to buy an iPhone charger because my phone was dying.
yeah.
But there was like so many different fucking people there. Like there was old people, there was fucking little kids and shit. There was one kid who was hardcore as fuck. He's like 6 years old, chanting holy shit with everybody, like hollering like set him on fire. Because at one point, they literally uh it was two dudes underneath a pane of glass and Dr. Redacted, the guy I showed you in the video the one time that
Yeah.
comes out dressed up in scrubs, uh squirted it with lighter fluid and set it on fire and then did a cannonball into it and it broke. Um, but one of the fucking chunks of glass, like fucking still on fire, landed on one of the dudes, and then all of a sudden you saw him like fuck, 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 like trying to get it off of him because it was like burning him. Um, in which case his girlfriend, Dr. Redacted's girlfriend, was not pumped about that bump because uh we seen the two of them walk in together and she was like selling his shirts and we were kind of side glancing while the match was going on and she was like having a good time, whatever. And then it got to the point with the fire and a couple other things, and she was like almost in tears
In
and
other
was like,
words,
and, like pissed, like she did not know that was gonna happen.
yep.
And you could see like the other lady, her name is Rachel, that's like partially runs basically everything backstage. You can see her like telling her like I told him not to fucking blow, like trying to tell her like I told him not to do this dumbass shit. Um, but it was fucking crazy hot in there. There was fucking spooky dust everywhere, and you could taste that shit after a
No.
while when it got into be like after a certain amount of light tubes got broken. I'm like, am I the only one that tastes like this weird ass metallic kind of taste? And everybody's like, yeah, like yeah, I can kind of taste it. And was doing what supposed to do at fucking little hole wrestling shows and drink fucking PBR all the time, the whole time. But I was fucking sweating so much. I was just sweating as much as I was fucking drinking. So I didn't get really fucking buzzed up or anything. Um, fucking, they had a raffle that they were giving away like a custom, like a bar, like that you put in your house that looks, like a bar, but like if you go to the bar and it had like
Oh,
their logo on the front and it was cool as fuck.
hell yeah.
and you could either take that one or you could like talk to the guy that made it and get one made with your own custom logo on it and shit. And I'm like, oh, that would be fire. Just have a fucking wide range of conversations bar in my
Dude, yeah.
house and, and have our faces on it and shit.
Hell yeah.
So then Mark went and bought raffle tickets for everybody. And he's like, if you win, you give me $20. Well, we all thought it was for the bar, but he bought them for like the 50-50 thing to win the cash, which was only like $100. But we're
Oh.
all like, but we all thought it was for the bar because like a few minutes beforehand, Classy Matt was like, because his something happened with his Jeep, so his buddy fucking borrowed him this fucking Cadillac SUV, so we rolled into this bitch in a fucking Cadillac,
Ugh.
and um, and he's like, "Yo, that truck's got a big ass fucking back end. I could carry that thing back." So we all thought he was just like, "Fuck it," and got tickets for the bar, but no, it was for the money, but none of us won.
Womp womp.
Um, and then there was the first match, there was a dude that had to take a or one of the spots was he took a weed whacker to the chest and he looked just like a Kmart Caleb, is what I call him.
Oh.
Because he had blonde hair and he looked like Caleb, but like a Kmart, maybe even a CVS version of Caleb. Um,
Okay.
who we like later saw walking around, whatever the fuck, and we talked to him. We're like, dude, are you good, man? Whatever. And he was like, that was the dumbest shit I've ever fucking done. He's like, I've done some dumb fucking shit here. He's like, but that was fucking terrible. And later on in the evening, Mark ended up buying him a fucking White Claw because there was a huge line that was really slow for like the drinks, and then a separate line that was for like food that was really slow. And we later found out like there was a wedding going on the other side of this fucking Elks Lodge,
Oh,
like in the other hall. So this staff had to take care of both sides.
that's crazy.
Because at one point, Classy Matt literally waited in line like for 20 minutes for just a fucking water and a can of pop because it was going so fucking slow and they were trying to do both things. And then he came back and he's like, yeah, there's a wedding apparently going on the other side. And I was like, damn, like I just imagine that shit going on like if that like at my wedding, like my wedding's going on, and somebody's like, "Yo, there's a death match fucking show next door." I'd be like, everybody would be like, "Where the fuck did Eric go?" You'd be fucking,
Don't
I'd be over there.
worry
The
about it.
damn, yeah, the fucking show.
I just feel like he's pooping. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and but everybody was like all the people there were super cool. We asked some dude to like take our picture, and he was fucking like super chill, and we did the fucking too sweet thing, and he's like, fuck yeah, and he had on these fucking like full like Bret Hart like get up on like the pants and everything, and so Mark fucking marked out for those and was talking to him about how much he paid for the fucking outfit and shit, which was a lot of money.
I can
Um,
imagine.
um, when I'm trying to go through my fucking notes and I'm getting all fucking stuffy. Uh, then we're driving back and Mark broke his seal while we were there,
Uh-oh.
and which they had these disgusting ass fucking seltzers that was a watermelon chili.
No.
Yeah, and he bought me one, and I took a sip, and I went, "Nope." I'm like, I can already feel this giving me fucking heartburn. I am not drinking this. Um,
Yeah. That doesn't
so
even sound good, honestly.
it was not good. No. So we're driving back, and he had a piss. We got to Flint. It was the Corona Road exit. Is where we got off. Um,
Giggity.
so uh, we go to this gas station and him and Classy Matt hop out, go in, and the dude's like, "We have no public bathroom." And Matt's like, "All right, fuck it, let's go somewhere else." And he comes back in the car, and he's like, fucking shaking his head, and I'm like, "Where the fuck is Mark?" And he's like, wandering off somewhere to go piss. So Mark, we sat there waiting, like trying to waiting for him, and he wandered off like a fucking block away to go fucking piss somewhere in the fucking hood randomly. Um, he came back, and then the
That's how
dude
you
in the
get left
store.
in the hood.
Yeah, right. Because I texted him. I'm like, "Yo, let's go." I'm like, "We're waiting on you." And then he came back and we went back in the store and bought a bag of donuts. And then came back out and he was like, "Hey, the guy behind the counter said there's no camera over by the shed if you want to go piss over there." And he's like, "No, I'm not doing that." And Classy Matt just not too long ago also had fucking kidney surgery. So
Oh,
like when he's gotta go, like he's gotta fucking go. um, so we drive up. He's like, if we would have gone a little bit farther, there's a marathon. So we go up a little bit, like literally a minute up the road, and there's this marathon. We pull up, this other dude is like getting out of his truck. Fucking Classy Matt gets out of the truck, starts walking up, and there's this fucking lady sitting in her car in front of the fucking gas station who pokes her head out her window and goes, "I'm locked out." She had locked herself out of the store, like the worker
Oh,
had locked. And so
oh,
fucking classy Matt just pauses with like this "are you fucking kidding me" look on his face, and just stands there with his hands on his hip in the fucking parking lot for like a solid 40 seconds of you could just see this like trying to register in his fucking brain like what is actually happening right now. um so he gets back in and he sits there and puts his hands on this fucking steering wheel, and he's just staring, and you can tell he's fucking pissed. And I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "She locked herself out of the fucking store." And I'm like, "Seriously?" And he's like, "Yeah." And fucking Mark kept going, "There's bushes everywhere, man. Just fucking go find a bush. Go find a bush." And he's like, "I'm not doing that." So I'm like, "We literally just passed the movie theater, dude. Like, they have late night theaters. You should be able to just get in there and run in and piss." And so we go a little bit up the road, we pull in, and he's like, "Fuck, the lobby's closed," or maybe it's just the lighting. And I'm like, "Well, stop the car." And I hopped out and I fucking pull on the door, and the doors were locked, and he's in the fucking car like, "Fuck." And then all of a sudden, some people walked out from the other side of the like down farther where the doors from where I was. So I fucking just did a little shoop, slipped over, and fucking caught my hand on the door right before the fucking door closed. And I'm like, "Hurry up." So he like hurries and parks the vehicle and comes running up. And I'm like, hopefully the second door set of doors are open. And like while I'm waiting for them to park, I can see like people inside, like kind of looking, wondering why I'm standing there, like holding the door open and shit. So I'm waiting for somebody to come up and say something, but nobody ever did. So he gets in, and I go back to the car. Then all of a sudden he comes hustling back, and he's like, "So I don't know if he's still following me or not, but there was a security guard that hollered at me when I was on my way out." He's like, "I had to fucking sneak past like two fucking workers to get into the bathroom, and then I was walking back, and the security guard saw me and went, 'Hey,' and he's like, all I said was, 'Have a good night,' and just took off out the fucking out of the building and got in the fucking car." So then we dipped and then drove the rest of the way home, and then me and Mark chilled and until about 5 o'clock in the morning. And then about 5 o'clock, he's like, "Yeah, man, let's stay up until 8, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "I'm not staying up until 8. I'm like, I can chill for a little bit because I was still like fucking decompressing from being around all the people and shit." And 7 minutes later, I look over and he's just fucking slumped over in the chair. I'm like, "Okay." um, so yeah, it was a fun evening of a
hell
bunch
yeah,
of blood and craziness, and
piss.
probably how I'm getting sick is because being around all those people
Well,
and
also
shit and
you inhaled how much of that shit?
quite a bit. Well, luckily there's at least like a 10-15 minute break in between each match because they got to clean up, so you could like go outside and like get fresh air. And everybody like literally just piled outside and started smoking joints, and the wrestlers were out there just ripping dabs sitting at a coffee table.
Okay.
And then like you just go back in, but still was a fun time. Would definitely go again. They have another show coming up like early next month, so I'm not trying to go to that, but it'd be something cool to go to again.
Yeah, I had a much less eventful day yesterday. I went to Johnson's, shout out Johnson's, which is like a pumpkin farm that's around our area, with one of my coworkers and her kid because they were having a craft show. And I'm like, I've never been to a craft show like back, God, it's been like 20 years. I'm like, I don't know what to expect. What actually happened? Everybody is selling freeze dried candy now. Have you had any of that yet?
No, but I fucking see it everywhere. There's a little shop on fucking Euclid that has
Yeah,
it now too.
it's crazy. My boss bought us freeze dried Skittles on Friday. I think it was Friday. Uh, it's I don't understand how to. It's basically like you're eating the candy, but there's no chewy portions of it.
Just
It's
like
just,
crunchy.
yep, that's it. So it
That
tastes just like a Skittle, but there's no like parts to it. And I got sprees from there. Same thing. It's kind of wild. There was like 4 different shops that are just selling freeze dried candy. Apparently, that's a thing that's happening now. Uh,
yeah.
Maybe we gotta hop on the bandwagon. I don't know. They had freeze dried fucking everything. They had freeze dried candy corn.
Ugh.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I would try it, I suppose. They had what else? I mean, I got donuts from there, which I mean, we've talked about them before, but we're pretty sure that they put crack in them. Not really, but it feels like it because I could even me at my current rate where I can't eat very much, I'm like, I could eat two donuts in a day. Before I'd eat that, I'd have that whole 12 pack down in like an hour.
Yeah.
So I got a frozen slushy and I talked to my coworker. They have this thing called a glacier there.
Okay.
Many people aren't on fall TikTok like I am when they just show you like random fall images and it gives me so much serotonin. It's like they put a little bit of frozen apple cider in there and then they mix it with vanilla ice cream and they put a donut on top of it. Oh my God. It looked so good, but they were just like, "Hey, do you want to try some?" I'm like, "No, because that will kill me." I just know that it existed and somebody should have it if I can't. So
Right.
I bought this room spray that makes every time me or the cat takes a dump smell like a fall morning, and I love it. So that's that's helpful.
What does a
What
fall
else did
morning smell like?
kind of like a
Wet leaves?
pumpkin vanilla thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Loved it. And what else? I got something else that was random from there too, and I
Did
can't
you see they
remember.
have a new Coke flavor that tastes like Oreos?
I looked at it, but the only way you could get it is in like a 12 pack, and I don't want that. So,
Oh,
you know me, if I drink a whole carbonated anything, I'll probably implode now. So I just wanted to try the little bit of something.
yeah.
And then having me around must be awesome now because I don't take up any space for anything. I'll eat like a quarter of something and be like, all right, guys, you can have the rest of this. Just
Did you have
eat meals
Wonder
with me.
Burger again when you went there?
Oh, fuck yeah. It was good. This time I did not power puke my guts out, so I'm thinking something else I ate there or something else was going on. So
I don't know.
it was good. But it was boring because, I can't have cheese or like I didn't want to put too much bacon or anything on it. So I just got a single with their sauce and I put grilled onions on it this time and it was very good. I bought
Sounds good.
what else did I buy from there there's something silly that I bought that I'm like, I have to tell Eric that I bought this and he'll laugh at me, but I don't remember what it is. But randomly,
Okay.
when we're talking about the movie, just say a random thing. You'll know that I remembered it.
Yeah, it's a good thing we watched that movie because I'd never seen that movie before, and there was so much of that shit at fucking Spirit Halloween.
I know.
And I was like, okay, now I know what this is because I would not have known anything.
True
But
story. I watched the movie before, like almost, God, I want to say 10 years ago, maybe later, but I didn't like it. But I think I was doing one of those when you start a movie and you kind of half pay attention to it and you're like, wait,
yeah,
what's happening now? Which this is a movie you kind of have to pay attention to because there's three different storylines that kind of mesh together.
yeah. So yeah,
And
on that
I
note,
did it.
we watched Trick or Treat.
We did.
Um, and apparently it's like one of Classy Matt's favorite movies.
Oh,
And because
we're
I told him
gonna,
that we watched
uh-huh.
it on the drive down there.
We're probably gonna slaughter it for you, classy Matt. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
mean,
we don't take 2 weeks of notes like a college session like him and Tara did. Dude, I did the one episode with him and we talked about the new Weekend album. I swear to God, I felt like I was fucking like taking notes and like getting ready for a fucking college exam.
we are.
But
This is actually
um
the new exam.
trick or treat the new exam. What were all the masks that were on the bus?
I couldn't even tell you now, but I did see them though. They're kind of everywhere. Yeah, like you weren't kidding. They kind of have. This movie's everywhere, and I always
Yeah,
hated it because I thought, man, that's stupid. And then I still think Sam is kind of stupid, and that's a hot take. But I like the three stories.
yeah. They even had like a little hologram photo that you can hang on your wall of like the bus photo. Anyway, yeah. Well, I
Ooh,
don't. Well, no. They had it at Spirit, but no spoilers. So let's dive into the movie now.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, pop, and alcoholic beverages. It's movie time with Rick and Eric.
It's Halloween. I will carve you like a pumpkin, slices razor sharp clean. The traditions in place are for your own protection. On this night, the barrier between the dead and the living is broken. These monsters that will cut you wide open, so you better give the kiddies some sweet Sam spoken. There's werewolves and ghouls, serial killers hunting youths. Keep your jack-o'-lanterns alive, they are defensive tools. If you go out at night to be spooked, wear protection. Wrap yourself up in the most terrifying costume. It's Halloween, so trick or treat, trick or treat.
Waiting for Eric to come back with his Vicks. We are waiting for Eric. He'll have Vicks and possibly a shot. Maybe, I don't know. Dean is not a fan.
We're gonna talk about. We watched Trick or Treat with the Scary Pumpkin Child.
Yeah.
I had never seen it, like I said before. It is a movie you definitely need to pay attention to. I watched it with Rachel, I think the next day after we watched it, because I told her that she would like it.
She like it?
Yeah. And I was like, you need to pay attention. Like, she started doing something. I'm like, no, you need to pay attention.
Yeah, genuinely. Don't be us.
Yeah, I'm like, you need to pay attention, because she like looked down at her phone to like do something. I'm like, no, you're gonna miss this. You need to watch it. You're gonna miss everything comes together. You're gonna miss it. Like
Yeah.
I like even on the second time around, I didn't notice that at the very beginning of the movie when the car pulls up and there's the laughter, it's the fucking girls at that do that at the end of the movie. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, I'll let you take over with your with your notes as I violently blows my nose.
Yes. So Trick or Treat was made in 2007. It's got a 2.7 on IMDb, 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 72% with the audience score. And Letterboxd has it solidly at a 3.5. And I think 6.7 on IMDb is a little low for this movie, especially. But this is one of the ones, like I think we've previously said, I gave it very little thought because I was just like, oh, 3 stories of Halloween. That sounds stupid. Whoa. Realistically, that's entirely my genre of a movie. Give me something that happens on Halloween and a bunch of wild shit. That's all I care about. We watched Garfield's Halloween last night, and I almost recited it word for word to Eric.
I can do that with the first 2 Ninja Turtle movies.
Oh yeah, that's solid. Which we this is completely off topic thing because Caleb, our friend Caleb, did Surf Ninjas on his show recently. Shout out Horror Soup. They joked about doing Turtles, and I'm like, dude, me and Eric have been threatening to cover Turtles for a long time. We should just do it as a crossover. And I've been waiting for his response. So
I'm down.
Yeah. I've been threatening to do that for a long time. But Classy Matt probably would want to be on one of them.
I think it was the first one.
Okay.
About the first movie he wanted to do.
Yeah, that seems right. I don't know what I'm doing over here. Okay.
You're
anyway,
looking through your notes about the movie about the Scary Pumpkin Child.
I wasn't actually. I have no idea what's happening. So we start off the movie with a Halloween safety video, which I forgot that those existed because they're just so out of the zeitgeist of what we do here as a society now. But this reminded me, dude, they were everywhere, like during Halloween time. Do you remember seeing any of those as a kid?
Honestly, no. I just remember the whole make sure you check your candy for fucking razor blades and shit.
Yeah,
because my mom would always make me check my candy and stuff.
This is
which
back
I
when
also
they
think was a secret way for my dad to take the shit that he wanted.
Oh, for sure. This is for sure. This is also at a we've had this discussion. I stumbled over my words because we've had it like a cajillion times how they don't make good commercials anymore. So this is back in the days of actual commercials when you were just like, oh, I wonder what they're selling. You didn't hate to watch commercials back in the 90s because not all of them were bad.
And all of them now, like I said before, are all pharmaceutical ads. And then we were watching like Collision or something, and you were like, you were fucking right. Most of these commercials are all fucking pharmaceutical ads. I'm like, yep, nothing. There's no fun fucking commercials anymore. And me and my coworker, what we were talking about like old toys kind of thing. I don't remember what
Yeah.
started it. And because he was talking about how they had like the boy version of like an easy bake oven and whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, that's literally what me and like my best friend do at night sometimes is just watch 90s commercial compilations. He's like, what? So then I brought one up for him and he was like, oh man. And he's like, oh shit, I don't remember that. Oh shit, I think I had that. I remember oh, only the rich kids had that. And then I give him and I'm like, yeah, dude, we do that shit all the time. And he was like,
Fucking,
damn it. Yeah.
can we do this? Like, we should do this as a live. Like, we'll do this like where we could record the audio and video. We could live react to this and put it on the YouTube channel. I think that'd be funny. Us reacting to commercials.
Yeah. Well, I we have the go live feature via Zoom to like it says live on Twitch. So if you're the one that has the Twitch,
I
or I
do
could make one.
have Twitch.
But anyway,
And this is down the road talk. This is commercials were better in our day. Boomer. You know what also is crazy is have you seen where they've translated the Skyrim game into Gen Alpha videos?
oh.
Oh, do I have stuff to show you after this? So we start off with the Halloween safety video. We've gotten genuinely one fucking sentence in. Oh, then there's a jack-o'-lantern, and then there's dope as fuck 90s Halloween displays. That made me happier than a lot of things have lately. Just seeing the different displays and people just kind of like having stuff out in their front yards and like actually decorated. I had so much fucking nostalgia from the 90s at that point. And then we're settled in on a sexy robot and a knight. And I said voyeurism because somebody's watching them as they're trying to make out. Or
Yeah.
he wants to make out. I don't
He
remember.
wants well, first of all, this dumb bitch wants to take down all the fucking decorations on Halloween night.
Hang on. That's genuinely my next note is the night of Halloween, she wants to take down the decorations. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's too soon. The next day is too soon, honestly. Give me, as long as they're down before Thanksgiving, we're good. You know?
There's like somebody that has a big ass skeleton um over in the south end and they leave it up all year round and they just decorate it with other shit for the fucking
Oh,
like
yeah.
the holidays. Like it's literally like a fucking 12-foot huge ass skeleton.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they like 4th of July, they put a bunch of America stuff on it. Like St. Patrick's Day, they put a bunch of fucking clovers and a bunch of shit on it. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah. And they just dress it up, but it's huge. It's tall as fuck.
Yeah. I for sure. So during COVID bucks, I almost bought one of those because they're $400. Because I've already got multiple skeletons, but that's why I didn't. I already have a skeleton family, and I feel like I'm cheating on them unless I ask their permission first. You know.
Can I
They
get
keep
you a god skeleton?
I gotta, they keep me safe from evil spirits, and now they've got a little dog out there, so close enough. The Jabberwocky is watching them and judging her, which rightfully so. At this point, she's just like, take all the fucking Halloween stuff down. So the Jabberwocky's like, ugh, ugh, bitch. That's what's happening. And we're talking about the Jabberwockies from like So You Think You Can Dance and not the Jabberwockies from I think it's Alice in Wonderland. Is that what the thing is?
I only know the dance crew, the Jabberwockies.
I know there's two things. Uh Wherever else they're from. That's what they're judging from. Okay. Then okay, so what are we talking about here? It says I have a note on here that just says, "Are we actually going to think that a lollipop slit a chick's throat?" And that doesn't happen
Oh,
until later.
well, no, because in that scene where she's taking down the fucking all the shit, he like attacks her
Oh,
and like puts a sheet over her head, and like there's kids standing there watching while she's struggling, and like you can't see anything, and then all of a sudden you just see a bunch of blood, splattering underneath the sheet, and the kids freak out and run, and then you see what obviously is something the size of a child dragging her body away. But
ew.
we don't find out later on that it's the fucking sucker until he takes the sucker from whatever and takes a bite out of it, and it has that fucking little bite hook.
Okay.
In which case, if you've ever eaten like a candy cane to the point where it's like
Oh
in a
yeah.
sharp tip, especially them thick ass boys, you can stab somebody with those fuckers. So
It's a
if it's a
shiv.
hard
Yeah.
enough, yeah, if it's a hard enough fucking candy, you could probably, you know, you have to give it some oomph. But I mean, he was a little demonic pumpkin child, so I mean, he probably had a little bit of retarded strength to just cut through the fucking throat.
Are we? Is that what he? Well, yeah, we did find out what he was, didn't we?
Yeah, his
Okay.
thing comes off and you can see his face. They sell a thing of what his face looks without the bag over his head at Spirit.
Okay. So the sexy knight is like excited because the wife, the robot, who's currently dead, but we don't know that yet. She says to go upstairs and get the tape and turn the tape on. What do you think that tape was? I know it's like an adult video. I don't see them as being anything super spicy.
I
What do
don't
you
know.
think?
The only clip that we saw was like some chick riding some dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's as spicy as it got. Like
maybe
this.
that was like his the starter.
Oh
So
yeah.
like she didn't have to work so hard. So he'd already be up there 3/4 of the way ready. So by the time she got up there, all she had to do was like sneeze on his dick, and he'd be like, "Oh God!" And she'd be like, "All right, cool."
Mm. So
Maybe that's what it. I mean, yeah, because she seemed like a bitch. And there's like a couple times they show up in the background, like in the parade scene together while the other stories are going. And at one point, you see them very faintly, but you can hear her complaining about her costume. And I
yeah.
only caught it the second time around. She was like, she's like, "Are you ashamed of me?" She's like, "You have me in a box." Blah, blah, blah. Like, was like saying some
Ah.
shit like to him. So, yeah, they like pop up just here and there throughout the whole fucking thing.
Hmm. So after he starts the tape, he promptly it looks like he passes out for like a set amount of time, but I don't know how long that actually was because maybe it's one of those like where you fall asleep and you wake up 5 minutes later and you're like, oh, like, has it been a year? Has it been 5 minutes?
I mean, the whole video was over. So, I mean,
What's crazy is he goes outside and he immediately starts looking for her. Ow, my cat's attacking me. And he starts to just take down the Halloween decorations without finding her. And I think that's a little crazy because what the fuck? You know she didn't want them up. You know she was going out there to do it. Why not? You have to look for her first, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
well, I think he was saying her name, like looking around and then noticed the bloody shit and was like, "This is weird." And then
Uh,
I have a vibe. I'm gonna
hang
lift
on.
this fucking sheet, and then it
There.
was her face.
Hang on. I'm turning on my camera so Eric can see this because the cat is losing his fucking mind. Hello, cat. I don't know how to turn this back on. I guess it doesn't matter. Start video. There's a cat. Thank you for putting your ass in my face. I have no control over this animal. I just want everybody to know he's just a wild beast of nature until he gets old enough that he doesn't want to do this stuff anymore. That's cats
That
for
was
you.
that was the name of that porno film. It said
Yeah.
nature film.
Okay. Dean, you're going to help me read notes? We got a show to do. Is that the next note? Show me. Okay. Right there. Good. Thank you. I'm glad you sneezed on the piece of paper. That's helpful. Yeah. Thank you. So he slowly starts taking down, there's like these ghosts that they have on, it looks like a cross, which, okay, I know it's Halloween, but they have things that look like a cross with white sheets on them. Hmm.
Usually It's just straight regular crosses that they burn, not ones
I'm
with white
saying.
sheets.
I know. I'm just saying. Like that was a little. And I put on here that Emma is actually working those jaw muscles because she's dead because she had something. I think she had that.
Yeah, something weird in
It's
her
that
mouth.
game that you do you remember that game that's going around now where you have to put that thing in your mouth where it just kind of
Yeah,
opens up
yeah,
your like whole
Sal's.
mouth?
Yeah,
And you,
Sal's has that game.
it's like it kind of sounds like this. Can yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that's what she's got in there. She's just, you know, what? Oh, okay. Thank you, Dean. This is not helpful. And then we get a sweet ass comic book intro, and then it just shows but like italicized and like a bunch of different. You know what? This isn't gonna work. Go away, Dean. And we get the intro. That intro is actually pretty sweet. Now that I'm not distracted by what's happening in front of me, the comic book with all the different horror stuff going on is pretty cool. And then we get okay, yeah. So the next scene is this kid dragging a sack of candy on the ground. Ugh. Just ugh. You see how dirty that thing was, Eric?
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it actually. Like just thinking about it pisses me off a little bit actually. And then we find out that we're actually in Ohio, which it makes sense something this stupid is happening in Ohio because it's Ohio. Uh I want to say eat the dog, eat the cat, but I also don't want to give that lip service. So let's go. So apparently in Gen Alpha, Ohio is bad, which I think they stole that from us. That was the thing before, I think. Uh, hello, cat. And then we have, what the fuck did I put? Is there a kid is peeing? I don't
No.
remember that part.
Well, no, he was walking, dragging the bag of candy, pushing over all those fucking pumpkins.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was like, and I went, I hope this fat fucker dies. And then he walks up to a porch that says,
That's
please
not
take.
yet.
Oh, no, there's
No.
no kid peeing because that's where it goes. Is
Yeah, I
him
don't
walking up
remember
to the
this.
porch.
I don't remember this kid doing that because Anna Paquin is the Red Riding Hood. We see her for a hot second because they go to like get a costume or something.
Mhm.
And then
Unless you
there's
meant
the
the kid
kids.
peeking. There's
That's what it says.
that little
Yes.
kid peeking in on him, watching them change and shit while they're
Yes.
talking about the
That's
dudes they
what's
had fucked
happening.
before. And then that lady was like, there's kids out here.
Like, well, tell your kid not to fucking look at shit. You know, don't start no shit. There won't be no shit. You know?
Yep.
So then we have that fat kid walking down the street, smashing all the pumpkins. And you know what? What the fuck? I said, what are you doing, bigger kid from the Sandlot? What's happening right now? What happened to you? Why are you doing this to these jack-o'-lanterns? Because honestly, they've done nothing to you, and they looked pretty sweet. So he does this to this one house, and then like I think it's the principal of his school comes down, and his his aura is off, like immediately, right? Like you got that right away.
Yeah.
Because he's just like he's sitting there passively threatening this kid, and he's like, just sit down, Charlie. That's not good for your diabetes about eating all the candy. And you're like, oh.
It's when he pulled the knife out and it was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
like, mine got dull. It was whatever, cutting the eyes out of the fucking
Yeah.
pumpkin while the kid's just like sitting there, still stuffing his face.
Yeah. He offers him, I think it's like a snack cake or something. He has something first, but then he's like, haha. And then he offers him this chocolate bar, and the kid's like, hell yeah, chocolate. I would not eat anything this man gave me. I don't care what kind of chocolate it was. It could be the best, like cookies and cream, fucking Twix, whatever. No way. I would have hauled ass out of there. But, you know, he's a kid and he doesn't know any better. Here we are. The kid decides to start eating it. And then I'm not a huge component of puking at all, like in general. But this kid, it looks like has a whole fucking milkshake come out of his mouth at this point. And it goes for a while. It's like that Family Guy scene where everyone's puking, except just
Yeah.
one person is puking that long. And that I just put Charlie Brown as an asshole because I think somebody said that, and that was pretty funny.
He was he, that was a full blown Don Vito fucking with chocolate, little kid with
Yeah,
chocolate.
for
Don
sure.
Vito scene when Don Vito did all them shots and then fucking puked like that, like fucking 4 or 5 times in a row that much. Yeah,
It
it's
was crazy.
exactly what that was.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Don Vito.
yeah. Honestly, getting old sucks because the people that you grew up with, knowing and loving, you're just like, they could be dead now, and that's on turning 40, folks. Whew.
This time on turning 40.
we so so the kid dies after that, and I thought that was kind of he looks dead because he just kind of passes out after he pukes everything in his
Yeah,
body
and
out.
then he was still gurgling and shit while he was carrying him, and he was
Yeah,
like getting all grossed out.
he he goes into the backyard and digs a whole ass grave, and no one notices that he's just digging a whole ass grave in his backyard.
Well, it
Like
was
he
already
lives in
dug
this,
because there was another body in there.
yeah, but that's what I mean though. Like at some point he had to have dug that, and my neighbors aren't that nosy, but they would know if I was digging that, right?
I know
Oh,
he
then
had a big ass privacy fence.
he does say that it's the septic tank acting up at some point, so that's kind of crazy. Uh his anyway, his neighbor does notice him and he says, "I've got NRA in my pocket," and I thought that was hilarious too.
Oh,
NRA.
because the dog was barking
Oh, yeah.
at him, and then he ripped the finger off of the kid and chucked it to the dog to try to get him to shut up.
Yep.
And then the dog was eating it and still barking. Yeah, and he was like, "Who's out there?" Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
membership to the NRA and a shotgun above my fireplace. I'm not afraid to use. I'm like, and he was not moving quick, so you're not running back for that shotgun. So I don't know
I'm
why you
saying,
fucking threatening like that. Like,
listen,
have the shotgun in your hand, there, buddy.
yeah, if you're gonna threaten somebody, come correct. Stand on
Right,
business. Am I right?
right.
I'm saying. So one of the kids does a jump scare out of there. It must be the kid that was already in the grave because this one's clearly dead by now. His jumps up like he's still alive, and I thought, how the fuck is this kid still alive? But he is. Uh, and yeah. Oh, his one kid calls down from like the inside of the house, just as like, you gotta help me carve the pumpkin. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Hey, Dad, where's this? Hey, I can't see what's going on. And it's generally the mom, 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 mama, mom,
Yeah,
mom, 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 mommy, ma,
yeah.
ma, ma,
He's like
ma.
trying to stomp on whoever the fuck is still moving. Yeah, I need help. He's like, "Can I go to the parade? Are we doing this?" Well, yeah, and just like wouldn't shut up. He's like, "You need to keep your voice down because the neighbors." And he's yeah, then he leaves and then comes back. But don't forget, I need help with the eyes. And it's like, holy
Yeah.
fuck, kid.
Yeah, at this point I wrote in here, I can see why this principal wants to kill kids because Jesus Christ, me too.
Yeah. And then he gets
Like,
shit all buried, and he's walking up to the house, and he's like, "Why can't I go to the parade? What? I miss mommy. I wish mommy was still alive." Like just talking shit about his kid,
yeah,
and while he's walking back in, and then that's when we see our first later interjection of the neighbor freaking out, screaming for help for him, and he just looks at him and just says "screw you" and walks in the
yeah.
house.
That neighbor sucked. So he kind of got what he was, karma. The kid has oh yeah, he scares the shit out of all of us because the kid, when he walks in there, he has a monkey mask on, and I fucking hated that mask. That was the scariest mask in this whole movie. It was like a clear, like dollar store monkey mask, but it looks, I fucking hated it. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. So there's that. That happened. It's, what? Cake turning? Oh, oh. So they go down to the basement because that's where apparently the air quotes jack-o'-lantern is, where he needs help with it.
Well,
And
yeah,
they,
that was after the dad gave off the vibes that he was going to stab the fuck out of him because he picked up
yeah,
that knife and was
he
like,
should
"Yeah,
have.
let's go downstairs." And at that point, Rachel's like, "Is he about to kill his fucking kid?" Like,
Ooh.
he's like, "This dude's an asshole." Yeah, and yeah, so then they wander downstairs to go carve a pumpkin.
And
unquote.
they grab this like burlap sack and just rip it off of there, and it's the big kid from earlier, and his head's just on one of those like I don't know what they call them, like a pedestal you put on to like
Yeah.
decorate a cake, and they spin you can spin them around and frost stuff. And he's like, I always mess up the eyes. And they stab the kid in the eye, and then
Yeah. Well, they give
we're
that
out of
that
there.
the fake out that he stabs his kid because
Yeah,
he like holds knife up and he's like "Wah," and stabs it, and then like stabs something and then pulls the knife up, and people are like, "Oh, it's gonna be a gimmick. It's gonna be pumpkin," but it was fucking blood on it, and we're like, "Oh shit!" And then he goes and hands the knife to his son. And he's like, "Now wrap your fingers and hold," giving him
right.
instructions and shit, all creepy. And that's when the kid's like, "Don't forget, I need help with the eyes," as they're like spinning the little fucking fat kid's head around and shit.
Ooh. And that's the end of that scene. And then after that, we cut to uh so you weren't there for this, I don't think, Eric, but I'm sure me and our brother Dave have told you the "where's the party at" lady story. Do you remember that?
uh, I I know I've heard it. I don't remember the story
All right.
like
Circa, I
directly,
can't
but
remember when this was. We went to see Rocky Horror Picture Show in someplace. I want to say Mount Pleasant. That seems right. And we had stopped off, much like you, to get either some drinks or somebody had to piss. Something had to happen like that. And this lady just comes like right rolling up to the car that we had, and they roll down the window and they're like, "Hey, where's the party at, you guys?" Blowing cigarette smoke at us. And that forever will be because I was not that old. I mean, oh, they were younger. I was like just freshly 21, I think, at that point.
no, we
And
were
I'm
older
like,
than that. And fucking, if you're talking about KWO days, we were
yeah,
older than fucking 21.
I'm too old for this now. So anyway, that actual lady is in this movie, and I thought that was crazy. So they knew years later down the road that this would be hilarious. So good for her. Hope she got her SAG card. Coach, this is the funniest line in the entire movie, guys. Are you ready for this one? Coach Coach Tyler was in a hot dog costume, butt fucking a pig. That's hilarious.
When the little kids are going trick or treating and they're asking
Yeah,
people for their like a jack-o'-lantern, yeah, and it was like some teacher that was drunk as fuck, like flirting with the kids. She's like addresses the cat. She's like, "Don't you think it's perfect?" And like bends over, showing her ass and her tail to like these fucking like 10-year-old kids. And like she's like, "Do you guys want a drink?" And and like the little girl's like, "No." And the one little boy's like, "Yeah." That one little boy, the husky boy, was ready to party. He's like, "I'm ready to go. Let's go.
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Let me jump in front of the fucking coach in a minute."
I hmm, hmm. Imagine that's your first sexual experience. Like, can you like think about that for a second, everybody?
You just go trick or treating and you get sucked into like an adult Halloween party where shit's like turning into a slight orgy.
Right? Come on. So then they decide that they have to go pick up Rhonda, and they call her. This is the only time I'm ever gonna say this.
I'll say it. They call her retard Rhonda.
Yeah, there it is. And I said,
Retard
there.
if you want to be fancy.
The one other dude that they have with them, I put that his name is Schrader, and that's a stupider name, honestly. Schrader? What even name is Schrader?
Yeah. Fucking Schrader.
I hate him.
That's what that is. That's like uh that would be like the opposite name of the big kid from Little Giants, and his name is Spike. Like, this is
Yeah.
Spike, that kid that carries the fucking refrigerator on his back and shit. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
so here's the thing. I've never seen Little Giants.
What?
I've also never seen Heavyweights.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, we're watching heavyweights for sure.
Okay, that's fine. It's
Depending
not
on
like
when
I
we get
had
done with this, we might be watching heavyweights.
maybe find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. So we go from those kids going trick-or-treating because they're trying to find first off, Rhonda's front yard is just covered in jack-o'-lanterns, and that is a vibe, honestly. Look at it. Look at it. Think a picture in it, everybody. Picture every single square inch of a yard just covered in jack-o'-lanterns. It's wonderful.
It was from where it wasn't that bad, but there was a lot.
There's a lot, and I loved every second of it, is what I'm saying, Eric.
Okay.
I'm into it. All right. And then we cut from that to a Halloween. And when I say fucking block party, I mean a Halloween fucking block party.
Yeah. Fucking, there's people making out
Yeah.
and fucking doing shit everywhere.
It's kind of wild, and I kind of would want to be there, but at the same time, I'd be like, no, thank you.
Yeah, if they like blocked off, like, I mean, they already block off a chunk of downtown in the summertime, for people when they do the outdoor sitting. Maybe if they left that part like blocked off and had like a Halloween party in that area, I definitely go.
I'd go too, probably. The problem is there's two other places we can go in this town. Downtown would be the only place I would go to because the other place you can go, you will get shot or at least stabbed. Probably.
Midland Street.
Yeah. That probably would happen.
Someone literally just got shot at Usos the other fucking, and that's on Midland Street, like last week or some shit.
I'm saying. So then we have this. There's a vampire storyline in here. He kind of slinks over and gets his date in there, and she freaks out, figuring out that, damn, this dude's actual fucking werewolf. He's not just trying to be kinky, biting my neck in this goddamn alleyway, which they're fucking in the public. I'm saying, why are you sneaking away to the alleyway to fuck? At that point, if you don't risk somebody you don't know, you might as well fuck around them. Wait, if shit happens, you got witnesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna fuck with other people. So hashtag orgies, I guess. I don't know.
Orgy safety.
Yeah.
Fucking large groups and be safe.
And this is also coming from the same man who said, "Come first and save a life." So.
Yes, come first and save a life. Make sure to fucking groups of 7 stay safe.
That's my Halloween safety tip.
That's the trick or treat Halloween safety or the fucking Halloween party safety video. Make sure to come first and save a life. Also, make sure to fucking groups larger than 4.
It might have saved her life. So, watch out. Yeah. Cough. All right. So we go from there. Graveyard. Oh, we go past the graveyard and we go into a rock quarry, which is pretty sweet. I weirdly enough, I love a rock quarry. I don't know how you feel about them, but they have a good aesthetic, and I don't know why.
I don't think I've ever been to one, or I've only like maybe driven past one, like on the way to Georgia.
There's like 3 by my house.
Those aren't rock quarries.
It's close enough.
They're just big piles of rocks next to the river.
Maybe that's an anti.
No, a rock quarry goes down. Yeah. It's rock pyramids. My mom used to tell me if I ever tried to crawl on those things, that I'd sink into them and die.
I mean, or go into a different dimension,
Yeah. She's like, if you crawl up there, those rocks aren't like dirt. They'll move and you'll get sucked in and die. Well, I'm like, oh shit.
I don't want to die that way. So yeah, you win this round, Mom.
I've been fucking terrified to try that ever since.
Maybe this is why we're scared to do things. Our parents just scared the fuck out of us for doing anything.
Yeah. Don't run around. Don't run around with wet hair. You'll get sick. Yep, that's one.
There's lots of them, honestly, if you take time to think about it. And then the internet happened where we could watch people actually having those things done to them, and you're like, oh damn, they were right. Shit. Fuck everything.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we doing here? Oh, okay. So we go to the rock quarry because she has these jack-o'-lanterns that they've collected because they want to pay respect to the dead. And at this point I go, that's sweet. Honestly. Here's where we find out this Halloween school bus massacre, and I said, "Cool band name, we take it." We're actually gonna rename the podcast to Halloween School Bus Massacre. So watch out for that new shaking. Can't hear it, but
I hope I'll have to ask for you from a blah, blah. Yeah. Wow, my cold medicines are kicking in. I'll have to ask for that name again because I will name this episode that, and then I'm gonna take a picture of all the fucking barbed wire random shit that I took
Oh yeah, for sure.
at fucking Horror Slam, and we'll just name it that with that picture.
Fuck yeah. I'm in. So then we get a really cool fall leaf transition, and I fucking loved it. I don't know why. I'm not a huge transition guy, but I don't know. Maybe I just really like fall. That's probably what's happening. So then there's the ghost story. And I said, I'm gonna turn the lights down. I'm gonna get one of those. Everybody turn the lights down where you are. Okay.
Are you
Get your
Usher now?
phones. Huh?
I said, are you Usher now?
Yeah. Gonna make love in the club.
Turn the lights down.
Wait,
Right.
actually, this is gonna be a funny thing. So now that the lights are down, you're gonna turn the flashlight on your phone and you're gonna put it up to your face like we did back in the day. And then you're gonna go, we're gonna make love in the club. Hey. No, we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is we're going to tell this ghost story about back in the day, which I'm sure they didn't give a specific time, in which case I didn't care. There are 8 kids who are troubled, is what they described them as. And it's just, they were special and they were cuffed to this, thing. I guess it's a school bus. It genuinely was a short bus, and I'm trying to skirt around the topic. They were in a short bus. They were like bolted to it. So here we
Yeah.
are. And they all had Halloween costumes on, and everyone's just like, yay. So
You didn't want to, you're trying to fucking tiptoe around saying short bus, but then you're quick to go, yay.
that's what they were doing, and they wanted candy. I don't know what else you want me to say. Tell me other things were happening. I'll gladly write it.
No, they were just sitting there because the fucking
No, because they were like clapping because they wanted trick or treat. They were doing shit.
There was no one clapping. There was
I swear to God there was.
They were not clapping. I'm pretty sure they were just all on the bus, and then the one kid, he took the other direction, the wrong way, and that one kid was like, wrong way, and was like starting to freak out and shit. And then and then he walked down the center of the bus and gave him all pieces of candy. I do not remember going, yay!
I could have swore they did.
We might have to loop back and double check, but I'm pretty sure there was no there might have been like a I'm in danger situation, but like
maybe that's what it was. So what happens after that is the one girl who's telling the story is like, they paid the bus driver to do what they didn't, or they couldn't have the guts to do, or something like that. And I said, they paid this guy to drive these kids off a cliff. Pause for effect. Because that's what's about to happen. Yeah. So then they leave them to say that they're going to leave a jack-o'-lantern for each one of those kids who died in the accident. And I said, that's still kind of nice, honestly. And I put a little thing on here, a little asterisk. And I said, this would make for a great Dark Pictures anthology game, which I don't think you've played any of those. And I feel like me and you together playing them would be very fun.
Okay. I don't know.
So,
I don't even know what it is.
So it's those games where you make all the decisions and they kind of affect the story. Like I just beat one called The Devil in Me, where you're locked inside of an H.H. Holmes style murder hotel. And this guy is trying to kill you and your 5 other people. And you can fuck up and get them killed, and then the whole story changes to reflect that they're dead.
Oh.
It's pretty sweet. I've got all of them, I think, at this point, because spooky bitch. So that would be fun if we could do it live. If we could do it in person, that would be fun. I would play the game and you would just tell me what to do. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Anyway, okay. That's what I said.
Oh, we have to add in is that the bus driver actually did not drive the kids off the cliff.
Well, he did not. He did.
He drove them there, and then that fucking kid that was going wrong way, fucking ran up to the front and was like, "Go home! Why want to go home?" And got the fucking bus going and slammed it and drove them off into the quarry. And then
He was gonna push it off the cliff. Like, I mean,
I think he was gonna like yeah throw like a brick or something on the gas
yeah,
pedal and let it go and leave him, but he ended up going with him. And then they were like, no one ever heard from the bus driver. No one ever knows what happened to him.
you know. So anyway, these kids decide that they have to go down into the quarry to do this, and there's this like, it's the worst elevator I've ever seen in my life. I don't like to ride in elevators, period. This one is like it's completely open on all four sides, and you have to ride it down because it's just kind of like that mesh chain link stuff. Fuck no. How much would somebody have to pay you to ride down in that mine shaft thingy, Eric?
It wasn't mesh. I don't think it was mesh chain. I think they were regular bars. I'd have gone
It's
there by myself. I wouldn't trust like two people. I'm like, I don't think this thing can hold two people. I'll go down by myself in it.
zero. I mean, I don't think. No, I would never. I wouldn't do that for probably any amount of money, honestly, especially knowing what happened down there. I
Well,
don't want to go.
I meant just that type, like, I mean, that type of elevator in general, not
Oh
necessarily
yeah,
that predicament. I mean, if I have to take that elevator down to a nacho party or a taco party, and like, yo, there's a bunch of free tacos and booze, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll take this elevator, but
Mm.
not to go down and go see some spooky ass kids. Fuck them kids.
My true introvert would come out and be like, I could just make tacos at home. Like this is universe. What's happening? So if I get stuck on this thing, could never.
I'd fucking take a zip line,
That'd be
come in
pretty
dressed
sweet,
like
actually.
Mexican Spider Man.
Okay, that'd be actually pretty sweet. Actually, can you beat Mexican Spider-Man for Halloween this year? That'd be funny. It's like, hey, vato, and just like shoot him in the pit. I don't know. That's racist, Rick. Would it be tequila in the web shooters?
Yeah.
That's an idea.
Tequila in one left hand, fucking lime juice in the right hand. Fucking
That listen, not only that, because it would be cool because you could just, make drinks. That's fun. But, think if you're out in a sticky situation and you have to get out, those are weapons too. Tequila is flammable and lime juice hurts. So,
yeah. For sure.
as Eric writes this down, Mexican Spider-Man. Wonder
New
what
call Marvel. They have a
I
punk
mean,
rock one. Why can't they have a Mexican one?
true. I'm in, honestly. Just him walking around be like, I don't want anything to do with that. But that's just him.
Yeah.
It's just him taking a drink of tequila. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get Rhonda down there, and I think she has to end up going by herself, doesn't she?
No, they leave her and Husky Boy
Oh yeah.
behind.
No,
That's
Husky
the
Boy goes on
pirate.
with her. It's the
No,
one.
he stays with her dressed as the pirate, and then because they're like, there's only room for two, and it's like the two girls and the kid with the fucking name that you hate are the ones that go down.
Schrader.
Yeah, and then they're like, we'll send the elevator back up. They send it up, and then the two of them are on it when they're like, they do the fake like walking around with the lanterns, and be like, whatever the fuck, and then
Anyway,
because
they
the
get Rhonda down there, and it's unfortunately, let's face it, they're here to make fun of her because she's got special needs. Let's
but she does some ballsy ass shit because she a fucking husky pirate's all fucking scared, and she's like puts the jack-o'-lanterns in front of him or says something. She's like, she's like, stay here, like they'll protect you, like,
Yeah,
and then
so
like steps out like just ballsy as fuck, like I'm here to figure out what the fuck's going on. My
right.
name is retard Rhonda. I'm
Oh
about to
boy.
fuck everybody up.
So what had happened was they go down there and they find out that they're dressed as stuff as like a joke to kind of get her down there and scare her to death, and she loses her glasses and shit happens. But then the actual kids who were killed down there show up, and Rhonda kind of takes boss. She's like, you know what? The power of autism come to me. And then she like forms the autism megazord and starts beating ass by putting, what Eric said, there's these jack-o'-lanterns and it keeps them away. And they're definitely zombies. Are they zombies? Are they just spirits? I don't know how this works.
What are you talking about?
The zombies. Those kids that come back up.
Like the real ones?
Yeah.
Like not her friends that scared
Yeah.
her?
Yeah.
She doesn't fight them.
She could fight them if she wanted to.
Yeah. I thought you were saying she fought him. Like, what? No, like she was in the elevator and they all came running up begging for help. And she just said, fuck you, bitches, and turned the elevator on and rode the elevator up and gave a wave goodbye.
Yep.
And
And
walked the fuck
honestly,
away while the kids were, you could hear them in the background being murdered.
yeah, me and I go, honestly, fuck them, Rhonda. Good. This is your villain era. And then Taylor Swift plays in the background. Ooh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. As she's walking and then her hair flows and she has an instant makeover. That's what happens in my head. Good for her, honestly. Then we skip to the woods after all this nonsense happens, and there's a vampire, and he's like, "Ugh, I'm a vampire." Ugh, ugh. But, and I said, oh boy, look, a vampire stalking Anna Paquin. That's never happened before. Blink, 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 blink. Shout out True
It's
Blood.
okay.
Yeah. So it ends up being the fucking, he's the principal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the principal. And they're all like, they make it seem like, oh yeah, you're going to be my first person I fuck. Because Anna Paquin, they make it think like she's a virgin in this. And all her friends are like, whatever, fuck them. But turns out they're not talking about sex when they're doing all this. No, no, no. They're actually lesbian werewolves. And they
I don't know if
transform.
they're
And
lesbians.
no, they're for sure lesbians. I can tell. I have lesbian radar.
Before the whole Rick's bringing up the transformation, this man drops from a tree, by the way, like out of the sky. And everybody's like, oh. And then Suki comes walking up, like, oh, this dude bit me. And they're all like, oh, like, blah, blah, blah. Everything's cool. Acting like it's no big deal. And he's laying there, like, well, who are you people? And the one chick, like, pulls his fake vampire teeth out and is like flirting with him and shit. Yeah. And then she hops on him, like, she's like, it's my first time. Be gentle, fucking thing. Yeah. And then they all transform into werewolves. But before that happened, like when the dude dropped from the sky, Richard goes, so is it just the two of them that are werewolves or is it all of them? And I went, what? What makes you think they're werewolves? And she's like, well, he was a vampire, werewolves. It makes sense. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even
Come
think.
on. What's happening here? What's the
And,
cause in all this?
and the fact that they had the wolves screaming and fucking Rhonda was like, it's the werewolves when she was sitting there fucking with Husky Pirate. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. And
Well,
so I'm like, you
glad you
officially
figured
watched
it
too much
out.
shit. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, they all transform into werewolves and just start eating all these dudes.
Yeah. Which honestly is a hell of a way to go out on, if you think about it. I tried to silence that burp, and you ever have that when you try to silence it and it just like internally burps and it hurts a little bit? How? So this is where my notes stop because I got sucked into it for the last little bit here because Pumpkin Sam is the very last thing because he shows up at Old Man's house next to the principal's house.
Yeah, I
Is that
remember.
Huh?
I remember. I said I remember most of it. If you don't have
Yeah.
And
then he does that he shows up because
well, we see all the shit that happened with him talking to fucking like his side of him talking to, are you burying bodies over there and fucking whatever shit. And then there's some kids that show up to trick or treat and his dog's all dressed up and scares the shit out of the kids and he steals their candy. And then that's when the little fucking pumpkin kid shows up and there's a whole bunch of trickery, and he gets into the house, and then there's like a huge fucking battle. And when she fucking shoots him, did you notice the
Point
sound that
blank.
he make? Yeah, did you notice the sound that he makes when he shoots him? It's like a fucking dog toy or something. When he shoots his ass in the chest, and then was still smart enough to fucking reload his shotgun with 2 more shells and fucking shoot his ass fucking a couple more times with his big ass
Yeah.
shotgun. Um, but nah, all of a sudden his fucking that little pumpkin child's hand got possessed by Thing, and he fucking walked over and reconnected back to the body and fucking came back to life. And they fought some more, and he went to go stab him, and all he did was stab him in the fucking chocolate bar
Yeah.
in his chest, and took the chocolate bar and ate it and walked the fuck out. Like
Yeah,
that was it.
all you had to do was give him chocolate bar, and he would have been like, "All right, bet."
Yeah.
So,
And then
but we
they
also
we
found out that that old guy was the one that drove.
yeah, that drove the bus because he was
Yeah.
yeah. We find that out. Well, we find that out after that battle scene happens, and then like it jumps forward a little bit. Some kids come to his it shows everybody trick-or-treating. You see the principal's little kid that he was carving the fucking fat kid's head with, dressed as his dad, sitting
Yeah.
on his porch handing out candy. Um, with some kids coming to the old man's porch, and he gives them candy, and the one girl's like, nice mummy costume or whatever the fuck. And then is it Sam? Is that the fucking pumpkin kid's name?
Yes.
Then Sam's just standing there staring at him, and they're staring at each other. And then that's when fucking robot chick and her husband come walking up where the movie started, where she puts the pumpkin out early and shit. And then Sam starts wandering across the street, and you just see the old man like, ah, with this look on his face. Well, they're fucked. And he
Yeah.
closes the door. And then it's more trick or treaters. And when he opens the door, it's all the fucking kids from the quarry and shit that he killed. And then that's when he gets fucking murdered, and that's when we find out that he was the fucking bus driver and shit.
Good for him. He deserved it. Fuck that guy.
But
Like, I don't care how
it
much you
was
get paid to kill kids. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Some kids I've met. No. For the most part, no. Anyway, but yeah, I really like Trick or Treat actually. I don't know. Do you have any final thoughts here before we rate it, Eric?
no, I thought it was fun.
Yeah. I give it 4 stars. And my letterboxd is ADHD rated R episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Checks out. What did you
Sure.
give it?
Uh, I'd say about a 4, same.
Any so it's your pick next, and you've threatened me with a couple of things, so
I don't uh I don't remember the other threats that I made. I probably haven't written down. I
you
just
do.
watched Boy Kills World today with Rachel.
Oh, how was that?
It was fun.
Okay.
The character goes well, he gets his eardrums burned out, but
Ooh.
he's so he's deaf, but when he's older he doesn't remember what his voice sounded like before, so the voice in his head is just comes from a video game where it's just like oh, but it's Home Dude that does the voice for Archer,
Oh, I love that.
so
H.
that's
John
like his
Benjamin?
yeah, that's like his inner monologue, like his voice in his head and shit, like that's him. Even though it's fucking whoever Skarsgård, the younger brother, the one that
Oh,
plays
yeah.
fucking It the Clown and the bad guy in
So,
Matrix,
did you
all
hear
that.
how bad The Crow is doing?
I know it's on digital already to rent.
Yeah, it did real bad. I've already decided that every opportunity I get to pick a movie, it's going to be a movie that has to do with Halloween until Halloween happens. So, look out for Halloween picks from Rick until that happens. I think I'm torn between 3 of them for the next time. So, look out for that. And let's see here.
That's so weird. Oh Lord.
our top 10 spooky movies of all time. Thanks, thing. Yeah. So I think that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't have anything. We talked about all the fun shit beforehand. Like I'm gonna be off pretty soon here to take care of some business, as you all know. I've kind of made that known at this point. So if you didn't know, well, listen to the last episode. Also, hello, new listeners, because we've apparently had an influx. Everybody from Pride, shout out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be doing some stuff as soon as I can, even when I'm laid up here. If I can't do much, I might as well be recording some stuff. So I'm going to try and do some stuff for the YouTube when I'm in here. Maybe the internet will meet Dean officially. Who knows? I mean, it already has. Cats.
Right.
But maybe he'll do videos with me. Me and the cat doing videos.
Be like Stone Cold.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's helped out his career. So.
You've seen those, right?
I fucking love him. Poncho, are you kidding me? Kidding me? That's the life. To have land and just hang out with your cats and just make videos. That's fun. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't know. I guess are we doing this? Just hit him with the socials? Me?
Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
You can check us out at Wider Range of Convo on Instagram. I'm not charted at everything. Eric is _Eric__989. And you can check it. I think it's just Wider Range of Conversations is the YouTube. I'll be posting some stuff on there. I have a really weird game. I think I'm gonna buy Don't Scream, and I'm gonna stream that during spooky season 2 if I can. So I'm gonna be doing some stuff is what I'm trying to tell you. So watch out, look for it, or else. Right. Oh, I didn't do the other part. You can check us out at the 989.network as well. So shout out to Basement, Doilies, Boobs, fucking, I don't know. I guess bears and bees.
They had their Schmiegel Fest this weekend.
And I feel bad not going to stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna go on Saturday, but I was still fucking dealing with fucking Friday. I fucking went to bed at like 5, after 5 in the morning, and then woke up at 11:30. It was like, okay.
And I've met my quota of hanging out with, like, I was with there's a lot of people at that thing on Saturday. So I'm like, because I'm trying to stay healthy for reasons, obviously. So I've been like, everybody stay away from me. Kind of.
Start wearing a mask again.
I might have to. I have to find, I know I have them around here someplace, but here we are. I did buy myself some new basketball shorts so I can wear them after surgery. They're weird. I guess it's better to have clothes that fit since I lost all this weight. I actually bought like pants shorts that fit.
Your shorts go above your knee?
I wished. I had to buy these at a super cheap place. But
no, I mean on purpose though. Do you wear shorts that go above your knee?
I'm gay, of course.
Oh.
I mean,
that's not just a gay thing.
Yeah.
Like just in general. I've never worn shirts that go above my knee. I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna be wearing like 3-inch inseams like some of them do, but maybe a 4 or 5 probably.
Yeah. No, I fucking
depends on the day.
I got like awkward fat knees.
Yeah, I got my body's going through some metamorphoses right now, so.
But even as a kid, like I didn't fucking like shorts. I don't know. It felt weird. I don't know. Like my balls
I think this is
come out or something.
I also have to pee, so we're getting towards the end.
Yeah. So thanks, guys, for hanging out for another episode. I'm fucking suffering from spook dust dysplasia.
Jesus. Anyway. Yeah, we'll catch you out next time. Probably sooner than later because I'd like to get at least one more episode in before I go in for my surgery. So we'll see.
All right. We'll see you guys next time around.
All right. Peace.
Did you enjoy this episode? Then check out more at 989.network, Mid-Michigan's premier podcast network.